Welcome everybody. Today we are into P13, practice sheet number 13, and the title today is Stuffing Box and Gland Assembly. We are going to draw assembly of gland and stuffing box arrangement. And now we will be given the details which are here. They are the details of gland and stuffing box. You can see these are the detailed drawings of gland and stuffing box. It is consisting of several parts, and then we are going to assemble them to form the assembly which is shown here like this. Okay, now when we are going to draw this as a assembly sectional view. Right now the assembly figure which is there in front of us, which we are going to use for the purpose of understanding, that is drawn as an isometric drawing which is cut. But we are using this for the purpose of understanding, and when we are actually solving this problem, that time we are going to draw this as a sectional drawing. So you can think of this part which is shown as a sectional drawing. This is how it is going to come when you draw. Now as usual, last time also we have seen some work on assembly drawing. So that time we saw that we are given the detailed drawings like this, and these detailed drawings we are going to think over how it is going to be fitted, all the various parts, how they are going to be fitted into each other so that the assembly will be formed. Now while thinking on those lines, there are certain things which we are going to apply. One thing is, first thing, the very important thing is, if you look at the title of the drawing, stuffing box and gland assembly, that means first thing you should know what is the title of the drawing and what that title means. What is the function of this particular assembly going to be. So once you know the function of the assembly, then according to that function you can think about how these different parts they can be fitted into each other to serve the purpose of the assembly. Okay, see, when you solve the problem in reality during the exam, that time this is not going to be there in front of you. Right now we are studying, so that is why we are having assembly drawing here and the detailed drawing also is here. This drawing you have to draw yourself without any reference, just by looking at these detailed drawings. Keep that in mind. Now first thing is, what is the function of this particular assembly? So unless and until you know the function, it is not possible for you to think about how these parts can be assembled. So to understand the function, first thing is, let us understand what it does. What is a gland and stuffing box doing? Now look here, many times what happens is, there are situations where, say for example, there is I'll just draw one vessel. So you can think of this as a very big container, and in this container, let's say here there is a stirrer. Okay, so imagine that this is a very big vessel. Now in this vessel, maybe there is some liquid here, and you are going to churn this liquid for some purpose, for some reaction, some chemical action is there, whatever. So this is the function. Now see what happens here. This is a shaft. Now this shaft is going to rotate. Now when the shaft rotates, what happens is, the shaft always needs some kind of a support. That is what we call it as a bearing support. So this shaft is passing from this particular hole. So this is a place where there is going to be a bearing. Some kind of arrangement is there through which the shaft is going to pass, and this arrangement is going to locate or hold the shaft. It is going to support the shaft, because shaft needs a support. It cannot move here and there like this. So the support which is present here, that support, how that support is going to be. So now let me draw the support. So for drawing the support, I am just drawing only this much part. So it shows that there is a shaft. So I have drawn a shaft. Wait. So suppose this is a shaft, and you want to have some support like this here. Okay, I am showing this space here just to indicate that there is some clearance And why the clearance we want? Because of this clearance, the shaft is free to rotate. Now this clearance is not so big as what I have seen, but this is a very very small clearance in microns, but that clearance is required so that the shaft will rotate in this particular space. But then what happens? Because of this clearance, whatever is a liquid over here, that liquid might come out from here, or maybe suppose there are fumes of this liquid, those fumes might come out from here. Now when such situation is there, what we want to do is, we don't want any gap here. That means this support should touch here so that there is no gap and the liquid will not come out. So now we are talking two things which are opposite of each other. First we said that we want a clearance so that the shaft will rotate, and next then we said that we don't want a clearance because the liquid will come out from here. The liquid will come out from here. Now that means whether you want a clearance or whether you don't want a clearance. These are two opposite things for opposite applications. Now what do we do in such situation? So that is exactly what this gland and stuffing box arrangement is doing. So whatever I have drawn here, whatever is shown here, that is this part. So the shaft which is here, the shaft is shown like this. Then below maybe there is some stirrer or some such blades are there. This is the top surface of the vessel, and then the shaft has come out. Then maybe here there is some motor which is going to rotate the shaft and whatever it is. But from this place, this is a support. Now this support which is there, from this support we don't want the liquid or the gases to come out. And at the same time, we want here free rotation so that shaft will not have any friction. It will not be jammed, it will not be tight into the support. So that is all achieved by this. Now let us see how this is done. First thing is, I'll just take you very close here. So now you can look here. There is a shaft which is shown here like this. Now this is isometric drawing, so this line, this diameter, whatever is the diameter here, that is the same diameter over here, although it is not seen like this because it is shown in isometry, that's why it is not seen. But in reality, the shaft diameter, which is this diameter, is same as the diameter here. Now what do you see here? You are going to see here two bushes. So last time we have seen shaft support or bushes. So like that, this one bush and one more bush here. So there are two bushes. So if you just go closer to the bush, you can see how this bush looks like. So this bush which is there, this bush is fitted into this particular part and it is resting on the step here. So there is no step where the bush is resting so that it does not go down. Then the upper surface of the bush, it is not horizontal, it is inclined. It is taper. So the top surface of this bush is taper. Now see what happens in the upper side. For the same shaft, on the upper side here, there is one more bush fitted here. But where this bush is fitted? This bush is fitted on another part here. So whatever part you see here, in this part from below, this bush is fitted and it is stopping here at this tip. So at this tip, this bush is stopping so that when it is fitted from below, it will not go above this position because it is stopped here because of the step. So on this part, one bush is fitted inverted, and on this part, another bush is fitted vertically down. So there are two bushes exactly opposite of each other, fitted on two different parts. Okay, and there is a taper here for this bush in this direction. There is also a taper in this direction for the upper bush. Now see the way the taper is given. The taper has got a typical angle here and here. Okay, now see what happens. What is this part? This is the top surface of a cylinder. So this is the cylinder, which is this cylinder, and here this is the projected part of the cylinder which is coming up, that is here. Okay, then that part is given some kind of a flange like shape, and that shape has got threading here and one more threading here. Now you look at this part is having similar shape. Okay, and this part is going inside, this projection which is there, that projection is going inside the hole. So if I just will take you closer, you will find here this diameter which is there, this diameter is going inside. It can go inside if you pushed it down. So this is the diameter going in this, and this part which is there, this part is placed here, and you will also notice that here it is not shown, but there is a threading here and there is a clear hole here. So what happens, at this place there is one part going to come which is called as a stud. Now last time, if you remember, we have drawn different types of studs. So what is a stud? Stud is a part which has got threading on one side and there is no head for the bolt. So there is one stud which will come here. The stud will be fitted here in the threading, and this part of the stud is free in this hole. Now the stud will have another threading on the other side also. Now that threading will be engaged into the with this nut which is placed here. So now imagine that at this place here there are two studs fitted, and here there is a nut arrangement like this. So now when you try to rotate this nut, what will happen is this nut will try to go down on this threading, and when it will go down, that time it will take this part will be taken down. This, because there is no threading here, there is a clear hole. So you are pushing this particular part. Now this part is called as a gland. Now this gland is getting pushed down when you rotate these nuts. Now what happens when the gland is pushed down? Now see here the arrangement how it is shown. Now you will see here that there is a shaft here. Then on this shaft there is on the outside part there is one bush here, another bush fitted to the other part. Now these two parts, they can come close, as I just now said. These two parts can come close to each other if you rotate this nut. So imagine that this part is going to go down when you rotate this nut. Now when this part goes down, you can see that this bush which is fitted in this part, that means both these parts will together go down. Now this is a stationary part, this is a housing, this is a vessel. So this vessel is stationary, so this is all stationary. So this bush also is stationary, it's not going to move. Now this is not going to move, this is going to come down when you rotate this nut. And between this and this taper, there is one taper here, one more taper here. Between these two taper ends, there is something shown here that is called as a packing. You can see here the name, packing, it is written. So packing is just like a soft material, like a thread. So that soft material which is here, that is put between these two bushes, and when you press this particular gland down, that time when it comes down, this taper surface and this taper surface, between these two taper surfaces, this soft packing will be getting pressed. Because you are pressing it down, it will get pressed. And what happens because of this taper shape? Because of the taper shape, when you press it down, the bush will try to move inside. The bush will exert a pressure inside, means on the shaft. That means when you go on tightening this gland, the bush, or not the bush rather, the packing will be holding the shaft very, very firmly. But then this is a packing, this is not a metal. This is a soft packing. So even if you are holding this by soft packing, it will not stop the shaft. Shaft will still rotate. There is no friction applied here. But because you are pressing it, the gap will be reduced. That means what we wanted to happen is, we don't want the liquid or the gases to come out from this opening. So from this opening, we don't want the liquid to come out. Now that is achieved by pressing this packing firmly onto the surface of the shaft, and that is done by these taper surfaces. This taper surface comes down and the packing is pressed on the shaft, and the leakage is prevented. At the same time, the metal surface which is here, these two metal surfaces, they are going to provide the necessary support, metal support to the shaft with a clearance, so that the shaft will not move here and there. The bushes are supporting the shaft as they are supposed to be. So now as you will see, the shaft is supported in the bush with a clearance, and the packing is pressing on the shaft so that there is no clearance. So there is no clearance between the shaft and the packing, and there is a clearance between shaft and the bush. Because of the bush clearance, it will rotate freely. Because of the tight packing, it will not have any leakage. So whatever we wanted to happen here, that is possible. So now look at this arrangement from some distance. Now you will find that the arrangement is like this. You can follow the section lines. So this is a part which is cylinder. This outside part is a cylinder or a vessel. So there is a vessel here given this shape. To this shape there are threadings, and then there is a gland. Gland has got a free hole, clear hole, and at this place you can see the stud is already shown here. So this stud is going to be fitted here. The threading will go here and this collar will come and touch here, so that the stud will remain in position, it will not move at all. It is firmly held in this position. Now on the other side of the stud, there is a clearance here, there is a clear diameter, no threading, upper part there is a threading. Now this part will come out from this hole, okay, and then there are nut bolts here. So these nuts, when you rotate this nut and the lock nut, the gland will go down, and when it will go down, it will press the packing and the leakage will be prevented. So this is the function of a gland and stuffing box. So now, knowing the function, now let us see how this is done by detailed drawings. So now let's see how many parts are given here. So the first part is box or a cylinder. So that means this part which is shown here, this is the first part which is shown like this. It is partly shown in section, here there is no section. So this is this part. You can see that there is a hole here and there is one more hole here. This has got diameter 42 inside, and then there is one more diameter here which is 34 diameter. So there is 34 here and 42 here. Certain depth is also there, and then there is a collar like this. Collar here, collar here. Then on this collar you can see there is a threading here. So this threading is shown here. The size of the threading is here. M12 into 2 means there are two such. There is a 2 is a pitch actually. So the distance between the threads is 2. M12 is the threading at these two places. Okay. So which is shown here, M12, 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 M12 and another M12. So now what happens? Here there is a stud. Another part is called as a stud. Now this stud has got threading which is again M12. So this threading will be fitted here. And there are two such studs. So two such studs will be fitted here. One stud here and one stud here. Now because of these two studs, now there is a cylinder and stud arrangement already present there. Now what are the other parts shown there? Now you can see there are two bushes. In fact, what is shown here is not exactly for the same figure. So certain things are not matching. In fact, this is not an answer, exact answer of this particular drawing. Only it is showing how the gland and stuffing box works. Now what is the difference between this and this? Here in the gland there is a separate bush. Whereas here, this gland itself, the shape of the gland itself is such that it is given a taper shape here. You can see here inside there is a taper shape given. That means this bush and this, these two are combined here in this part. So this is a gland which is made of cast iron. Gland is made of cast iron, and then there is a neck bush. Now this neck bush is here, which has got a taper shape here. So the neck bush is here and the gland is here. Now this taper shape is shown here and this taper shape is shown here. So now what happens? Both these parts, they are going to be fitted into the box. So look at this outside diameter, it is 34 and here it is 42. So look here, you will find one diameter here is 34. That means this hole is of size 34 because in this 34 this is going to be fitted and it has got outside diameter here as 42. So that 42 will be matching with this 42. Now this part which is there, it has got outside diameter 42. So that 42 will go from here inside and then this flange will remain somewhere here. It will not touch. Okay, there will be some difference, there is some space between the two. You can see there is a space between the two. So now what happens is, when you draw this assembly, at that time you are going to draw this part here and this part here, and between these two now you can see the shaft. This inside diameter, that is how much it is? It's written somewhere here, 25. So this hole is of size 25. Here also the same hole of size 25. So from this 25 hole, the shaft will come. So shaft will come and go from this hole, 25 and 25. So as a result, what you see here, 25 is the shaft diameter. Then there is a bush diameter 34, collar diameter 42, and this has got outside diameter 42 and inside diameter direct 25. Okay, and now there are, to this gland part you can see there are two holes. The size of the holes are 14, and if you see now stud, the stud has got diameter 12. So this is 12 diameter and this is 14 diameter. So 14 diameter here, and the stud which is going inside, this one, it has got diameter 12. So there is 12 and 14 means 1 mm clearance there from all sides. That means this gland will not get jammed in the stud. It will freely move. It will freely move up and down, and it's going to move because of its 42 diameter. This 42 diameter has gone inside this. And when you tighten this nuts, you can see here there is nut written here, hexagonal nuts. Now these nuts which are here, these nuts when you pressed, that time this gland will be pushed down. The gland will be pushed down, and when it is pushed down, as I said earlier, this taper surface which you are going to draw here, that taper surface will try to come down, and there is one more taper surface because of this bush which is present here. This bush is present here. So between these two taper surfaces, this surface and this surface, there will be packing between the two like this, that will get pressed. Okay, so now I am just going to read the different parts. Part number 1 called as box, material cast iron, quantity 1. Part number 2, part called as stud, material MS, quantity 2. Now this quantity 2 is not written here, you have to write here quantity 2. Then part number is 3. Part number 3 is gland, material cast iron, quantity is 1. Part number 4, neck bush, material gun metal, GM is gun metal, quantity 1. And part number 5, hexagonal nut, material MS, quantity 2. Because one here and one here. One on this and one on the other stud. Sometimes there are two nuts used, you can see here two nuts, lock nut and main nut, but now they are not written like that. So they just single nut on one side. So total nuts are 2. So remember, this assembly drawing is not necessarily meant for, this detailed drawing is not meant for this assembly drawing. This is different, but it is having something common because it is also gland and stuffing box. So we are using this figure for the purpose of explanation. What we are going to draw is, we are going to draw assembly which is formed by making use of these parts. Whatever way these parts are there, according to that the assembly will be formed.